Okay, so let's talk about using the Fourier transform to create a high-pass filter. So you can see that we start with the original image, which let's call it the image in the time domain, and then we convert it to this thing, which is the Fourier transformed image. Namely, I change the image from time domain to its frequency domain. This is how the image looks on the frequency domain. Namely, I capture the frequencies of the image. This is the Fourier domain, applying the Fourier transform on the image. Now, in the frequency domain, I can control the frequencies. So I can control which frequencies I can delete and which I will stay with. So I can just take off, if I want a high pass filter, I can take off the low frequencies in the image and stay only with the high frequencies. So you can see that I start with a filter that takes off high frequencies, but not the most high frequencies. And I can control how much I filter. As higher I filter, the more frequencies that I will take off. The higher frequency that I will be stay with, only the higher frequencies. So here I stay with high frequency filter that quite save me most of the frequencies. Now, if I get a cutoff more and more higher, namely I stay only with higher and higher frequencies, you can see what happens to the image. You can see that the image slowly but surely stay with some distinct feature. Which feature? The high frequency eventually stay with are the most highest changes in the image. And where in the image the most high changes occur? Look right over here. This stays. Why? Because there is very much change here. The frequency is very high. Those are the edges of the image. So the high frequency can show me where the edges are of the image. You can start again with a very light high frequency filter. So it will take the very, maybe let's call it the warm, I don't know, changes in the image, the more slow frequencies. So you can see it just cleaned it up a little bit from the red, but in the very high cutoff, only the highest frequencies are stayed, and those are the edges. So this is the idea of of a filter using the Fourier transform. In this case, we are talking about high pass filter. Let only the high frequencies stay. So you convert the image from time domain to frequency domain. In the frequency domain, we take off the frequencies that we don't want. In high pass filter, we take off the low frequencies, depending on the cutoff we set. And then, after we stay only with the frequency we want, we do an inverse Fourier transform and get back from the frequency domain, now cleaned up, to the time domain, to an image like you can see right over here. And this is the idea of using the Fourier transform as a pass filter, and in this case, as a high pass filter. That's it. Thank you very much.